Yeah.
Hey YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe. I'm Jay, and yeah, it's been an eventful couple days since I last recorded. Uh, the tariffs have gone to pause. Um, China's increased to 145%, 245% for some other things. The supply chain is completely collapsing. Shipping companies are folding, and ocean freight is collapsing. Last I checked, it's about 1 million containers canceled. That's a lot. And in other news, a senator traveled to El Salvador to see Abrego and got to see him. And immediately he's cuck of the day for the official White House Twitter account. Yeah, I'm going to call it Twitter. X is whatever. We live in the most ridiculous timeline. I mean, seriously, the official White House account is calling a senator a cuck. Another senator is photoshopping their name tag outside their hallway or outside their office to say "Senator from El Salvador." Um, I, it's as if 4chan, which apparently is now defunct, uh, gained sentience and ran for Congress. I mean, these people are ridiculous. It's the trolls of the internet have taken over our government, and I don't know what they think they're getting out of this. This certainly isn't governance. I mean, we are not being governed right now. There is no adult in Washington. It took courage of one senator to go down there and actually kind of get something done. And now he's on every morning show tomorrow because magically, oh wow, you do something that has a spine, and suddenly, it becomes a thing. People showed up for protests today, the 50-51 protests, all around the country. Last count I saw, it was over 3 million people, and in small towns and everywhere all across the United States, including some places that huge turnout in places that are Republican strongholds. And, the Supreme Court, I did a short earlier, the Supreme Court did an unprecedented 1 a.m. Injunction against the government sending anybody else out on the Alien Enemies Act, or at least this group. I have to clarify after I read a little bit more about it. It's just this group right now. But you can imagine that if they tried to send anybody else other than this group, that there would be some form of pushback from the Supreme Court. I mean, and as of almost midnight tonight, Alito finally dropped his dissenting opinion on that because the vote was 7-2, and Alito dropped his opinion. And from what I can tell, it basically amounts to him castigating his colleagues over maybe the Supreme Court didn't have jurisdiction yet, the Fifth Circuit Court hadn't ruled, and they were just being hasty. Other than that, he seemed to agree with what they were talking about, that the administration should have followed the previous Supreme Court ruling that was 9-0. So doesn't look like there's going to be much pushback from Alito, which is huge, and a massive rebuke to the Trump administration. I mean, when you lose Alito, you've really lost the plot. But again, I mean, we are in kind of an emperor's new clothes type of situation, and it does not appear that Trump really. I know this sort of seems like Me Tooism or something like that, or both sidesism, I guess you would call it, because Biden wasn't really all with it all the time, but it sure seems like Trump isn't really all there. And we've one thing that things are failing miserably in Trump world is when Trump starts to distance himself from it, because unlike every other president previously, he never takes responsibility for anything. It's never his fault. He didn't read it. he's signing executive orders and then claiming, well, I didn't know what was in the executive order. Okay, well, then why'd you sign it? But whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But it sure seems like maybe we're going to get some relief on tariffs because he's making JD Vance the tariff czar, everybody's favorite human being. I mean, if there's a more reviled person other than Trump globally, it has to be JD Vance. And I mean, there's a few things here where I don't think that this guy's ever really taken responsibility ever. I mean, he's blaming essentially his attorney general for the Abrego thing and Marco Rubio, which that's there is no loyalty in Trump. He is a faithless person. Um, these people that line up behind him and do their bidding, they do know that they don't have immunity. He does. They don't. So if any of you happen to listen to this podcast, just keep that in mind. At some point, this nightmare will be over and you don't have immunity from your actions. So Pam Bondi, when you're sending somebody to El Salvador with no um, due process, no habeas petitions or anything else, you know that's not going to be good for you later on. Marco Rubio, same thing. I seem to recall as a senator, you're very, very about the rule of law and due process, and we can't do these things. But now, hey, you seem fine with it. Send dude to a foreign gulag, whatever. But he's not taking responsibility and saying he has nothing to do with Abrego, and these things are all Department of Justice and Rubio and um, wherever our cosplaying Homeland Security chief is at this point. And then, then another thing, his confrontation with the universities, Harvard pushes back. Trump basically surrenders. And now he's saying, oh, it was all a big mistake. We're just incompetent. We're not malicious. We're just incompetent, which that's great too. Hey, who doesn't want an incompetent government that controls everything? And we're not even touching on Hegseth and the Pentagon right now. And it just all reminds me, I mean, it's right down the list. Anything goes wrong, he has no responsibility for it. Who, me? I mean, it was me. Sent the guy to a gulag. It wasn't me. Then who can forget COVID? Yeah, I don't bear any responsibility at all. This guy has an entire life where he's taken no responsibility for his actions. None. He even skated from attempting a coup the last time. So, millions of people are taking to the streets right now. And it's only going to grow because we're still in the crappy weather stage for most of the country. I mean, people went out in the snow in Colorado. They went out in the rain in Pennsylvania. All just to say that we don't want any more of this. And it's only going to grow. It is only going to grow because good weather is coming. Protest season is here. And these numbers are just going to get massive. I mean, we're already over 3 million. I mean, what are they going to do when it hits 11 million, when it hits 15 million, when it hits 20 million, when there are general strikes? What's the end game here? Is Congress finally going to act? Is he going to bow out? I mean, there's ample evidence right now that he's not all with it, that he basically goes off whatever the people who are around him at the time tell him, which is why Elon sticks to him like glue. There's even a very disturbing report about the tariffs and how the pause came about, and in that, They actually had to wait until Peter Navarro went to the bathroom and separated himself from Trump. Then they ran in there and convinced him to pause the tariffs. That should make even the MAGAist of MAGA terrified, because you guys put, just speaking to Republicans and MAGA right now, because, I get that you guys believe what you believe, and I get that you think you're doing good, but is this what you signed up for? I mean, essentially, you have a this isn't the Trump that you voted for. You didn't vote for this. You didn't vote for Navarro to set your economic policy. You voted for Trump to do that. He sold you on an idea that the tariffs would be paid for by other countries, that it'd be a golden age in the economy. Are you feeling very golden yet? I mean, is anybody? I mean, we're 2 weeks into it, and I can guarantee you right now, prices are increasing across the board. So buy whatever you need that was manufactured overseas now. I know I have been. I bought a bunch of stuff that I hope will last me 2-3 years over the last month. I don't think anybody really expects the Chinese tariffs to stay at 145%. But what happens if he lowers them and China just says, we're not playing this game? We're leaving all this stuff on there. We're not going to ship anything out to you guys. Chinese suppliers are being told by the Chinese government to make no concessions, meaning don't work with your US customers to try and lower their prices, make it hurt. Their government is saying that to their businesses about us. This is not going away. And we should all be absolutely furious about it, because there was no reason for it. There's nothing on the back end to prop up American businesses. There is nothing. And him trying to put pressure on Powell to lower interest rates, that'll just throw your prices skyrocketing. I mean, hyperinflation is bad. Very, very bad. 30% inflation, 40% inflation per year is catastrophic. Farmers are already getting killed. China's not taking soybeans. China's not taking beef. They already signed a deal with Australia. Do you think if we suddenly lower our tariffs and everything else, they're going to go back and say, hey, sorry, Australia. No, we're going to go back to buying US beef. No, that's gone. Casper, gone. Say goodbye. So Texas, I hope you're happy. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Texas, they also canceled all their liquefied natural gas purchases. So again, great job, everyone. Because they're not going to go back to it. That's the thing. These are structural changes. You don't just back out of contracts or trade agreements and everything else with Australia, with whoever they're going to get their LNG from. You don't. And it is absolutely ridiculous that we have to be in this position. But the good news is Trump knows that this trade policy is disastrous. That's why he's trying to pawn it off on J.D. Vance and Lutnick, which, frankly, they deserve it. But he's the one that started this. I mean, if anybody wants to put a comment below on how any of these policies are starting to affect you, I mean, I know I've got stories. And my phone's been ringing off the hook the last 3 days on everybody trying to buy pre-tariff merchandise. And we're going to put quotas and restrictions on it. And our price increases are going out next week. Who else's price increases are going out? Yeah, going out. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people on YouTube that do business and everything else. Drop a comment below. Tell your story. But the other part of this is he really all there? I mean, MAGA, you got to be concerned about that. I mean, he listens to Elon. Elon doesn't leave his side because Elon knows the minute you leave, that's when he can be persuaded, because he has no loyalty to anybody. You know, Pam Bondi got arrested tomorrow. The attorney general got arrested tomorrow for violating Supreme Court orders. Is he going to do anything? Is Trump going to do anything? No, he doesn't take responsibility. He pawns it off on other people. You know, when these tariffs and lawsuits happen because of the tariffs, is he going to take No, he's going to say JD Vance is my tariff czar. Go talk to him. I don't know anything about this. So hopefully sanity prevails at some point in the next couple weeks. Um, but it's certainly looking like a complete economic catastrophe for us. On Easter weekend, no less. A holiday. Why do the bad stuff always happen with Trump on the holidays? It's like they wait for it. I mean, we're not even getting in. I mean, there's been so much happen just in today alone. I mean, we won't even get into the Doge stuff and Palantir and Peter Thiel and all that stuff. That's a whole nother hour-long video. I would say Jenny Cohn on Blue Sky or Twitter. I think she's still on Twitter. But if you look, she is probably one of the best investigative journalists, reporters in existence. And she ties it all together, all the connections, all the money trail, everything else. And her reporting is amazing. It's worthy of a book. Any publishers. I think Midas, the guys at Midas have covered a little bit of her stuff, but she's certainly worth a read. And she has the receipts. I mean, talking about video going all the way back to 2005. Her investigation is just amazing. I would love to speak with her at some point. But anyway, happy Easter, everybody, and talk to you soon.